The Egyptian pantheon possessed a great number of powerful goddesses. Of these, Sekhmet was among the most complex. She was one of the first deities of Egyptian mythology and was famous for her ferocity. In Egyptian art, Sekhmet usually appears as a woman with the head of a lioness. She was a daughter of the sun god Ra and fulfilled the role of his avenger. She could take the form of the Eye of Ra, which was a part of the god's body, but also a deity in its own right. As protectress of her father, she would engage the enemies of Ra and act as a representation of his strength and rage on earth. In some myths, she was born from the fire of Ra's eye. In other accounts, she was the offspring of Ra and Hathor. Sekhmet was a consort of Ptah, and her offspring was Nefertem. One of Sekhmet's most important roles was as an instrument of vengeance. She would follow the orders of Ra and unleash her wrath onto those whom the sun god wished to hurt. Some authors believe that Ra created her to punish and eradicate humans from the earth for not living a balanced and just life, following the principle of Ma'ah. But not everything was blood and vengeance in her life. She was also praised for her role in healing and keeping plagues away. In some of her depictions, Sekhmet appears with a solar disk over her head. Her portrayals usually showed her as a fierce lioness or a lioness-headed deity, sometimes carrying weapons in her hands, but also the Ankh, the Egyptian sign for life. When she was in a calmer state, she took the form of a household cat, similar to the goddess Bastet. Sekhmet is characteristically depicted dressed in red, associating her with blood and fiery emotions. Egyptians also associated her with the hot sun of the desert, as well as with plagues and chaos. Sekhmet protected not only her family, but all of the pharaohs. She also helped them in warfare. After their deaths, she continued to guard the late pharaohs and guided them to the afterlife. Due to the similarities between Hathor, Sekhmet, and Bastet, their myths have been intertwined throughout history. However, Bastet, the cat-headed or cat goddess, is the deity most closely associated with Sekhmet. While Sekhmet is harsh and vengeful, Bastet, on the other hand, is gentler and more temperate. In fact, the two were so similar that they were later viewed as two aspects of the same goddess. One of the main myths of Sekhmet is known as the destruction of mankind and tells of a human rebellion against Ra. The sun god wanted to put an end to the rebellion as soon as possible, so he sent Sekhmet to Earth to make humans pay. In other versions, it was the goddess Hathor in the form of Sekhmet who brought destruction on humans as per Ra's instructions. According to the myth, Sekhmet's attack almost wiped out humankind. So bloody was her rampage that eventually Ra had to intervene to save humanity. He tried to stop the killing spree of the lioness goddess, but could not make her listen to him. In the end, Ra poured red dye into beer to make it look like blood. Sekhmet, not knowing that she was being tricked, drank the red liquid thinking it was blood, until she got drunk and forgot her vengeful task. Thanks to this, humanity was saved. It may seem strange to think that people in Egypt worship the same goddess who once tried to kill them, but they did. Quite fervently too, in fact. Sekhmet had multiple festivals during the year meant to appease the goddess and keep her rage under control. During these festivals, the Egyptians drank large quantities of alcohol to imitate the drinking of the goddess when Ra appeased her wrath. Her main cult center was located in Memphis, but a number of temples were built in her honor, the oldest known in Abusir dating from the 5th dynasty. The Egyptian people believed that Sekhmet had the solutions for all the problems on Earth. For that, they prayed to her and offered her food and beverages. They played music for her and also used incense. They offered her mummified cats and whispered their prayers to them so they could relay their requests to the goddess in the underworld. In recent times, Sekhmet has become an important symbol of feminism and female empowerment. It is only logical since her name stands for she who has power, and in this sense, she has gained renewed significance outside Egyptian mythology. Alongside goddesses like Hathor and Isis, Sekhmet represents the strength of women in ancient cultures and mythologies, where men traditionally had leading roles. Sekhmet embodies all the good qualities of femininity. She is maternal and loving, always protecting her cubs, but she was also a vengeful, strong lioness. Even the mighty Ra could not easily stop her from attacking her enemies. Her wildness and her associations with war turned her into a ferocious character that still impacts society. Sekhmet symbols includes the following. The sun disk. This relates to her association with Ra and hints at her role as an important deity with great power. Red linen. Sekhmet is typically portrayed in red linen, which symbolizes blood, but also her native Lower Egypt. The lioness. Sekhmet is a lioness by nature and is typically depicted as either a lioness or a lioness-headed goddess. Sekhmet remains one of ancient Egypt's most complex gods and had significant influence in the affairs of ancient Egypt and its mythology. She has been placed among other great goddesses of the ancient world who represent female empowerment and strength. If you enjoyed this and would like to watch similar videos about other Egyptian gods and goddesses, please consider subscribing and hitting the like button. Don't forget to click the notification button as well so that we can notify you when new videos and updates become available.